Hello YouTubers, diecast collectors. It is Friday, September 26, 2014, and this is another M2 Machines 124 scale review. And today we have probably what I think will be one of the more anticipated releases from M2 Machines, the Auto Trucks 124 scale. And I am absolutely happy to find these. I am so glad I finally got them. And if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you subscribe, because this will probably be the first review of this on YouTube. So make sure you check out my other videos. So I'm going to get right into it. So the first thing I'm going to show is this beautiful teal blue Chevy Apache Cameo. And this truck is awesome. I absolutely love the details on it. Besides the loose, there's some loose doors, but other than that, this truck is pretty nice. So it rides on some pretty nice rolling stock. It's got these chrome hubcaps, which is the more higher end of the truck. This is when trucks started to lose they lost their utilitarian feel, and back in the 50s, that's when these trucks started to get a lot nicer. They started to become a little bit more like the cars people drove. Definitely cool to have these. Very nice chrome trim right here, very nice bright work. Looks really good. It's even got cameo written right there. This is separate paint. So very nice, nicely done. Very nice graphics. It's got Chevy Apache up here. Nice mirrors. They're not loose at all, which is good. It's even got door handles and the filler neck for the gas tank. And it's even got the sandwich wood bed. I wish they had at least put the wood grain in. That would have been nice to see, but it's not bad. You can't really tell unless you're looking at it really close, but well, you can still tell from a distance, but it's not bad. Pretty nice though. It's even got the black paint on the inside of the bed. It's even got the plastic. It's even plastic in here. It's a separate part, but it's pretty nice. So there's the Chevy emblem right there. It even says 1958 on the license plate. And it's got a two-piece bumper, I believe. I'm not sure if it's two parts or not. It might be. I don't know. But it's very nice looking. And it's got taillights, lens taillights with the chrome surrounds. Looks good. There's a slight peg, but you don't notice it. But very nicely done. And this is the first truck to feature, or the first M2 machine I've seen that features a radio antenna. I'll say that again, a radio antenna. Now that's pretty awesome. You know, I know the 164 scale trucks, I'm not sure if they feature that, but that's pretty nice to see that on there. And also, you know, if you're looking at one of these and you have it out of the package, you know, just be aware of that, because the red one has it also. But very well done. And up here it says Chevy, and it's got the emblem and everything. Very well done. It says Chevy in the grill. Very cool piece. Even got separate headlights. So I want to you know, if you guys want to see more of these, you know, right on their wall, you know, tell them what you want to see. I definitely want to see like a Ford F100 or a Chevy Cheyenne or a Ford, you know, some trucks from the 60s. I'd definitely like to see that. Maybe some Jeeps, a Jeepster, something cool. You know, it'd be definitely neat to see a Jeepster or a Willys Jeep. It would be awesome to see that. So, you know, if you guys want to see more trucks, you know, right down below, you know, vote, you know, if you want to, if you'd like to see a new auto truck, you know, right on my thing, you know, vote down there, you know, tell me what you'd like to see. But So first off, I want to get to the engine detail on this truck, and these are definitely some of the most firm opening hood hinges I've seen on an M2, which I love. I hate when hoods are loose and they flap around, but I really can't get a lot underneath there. But it's a very well done engine. Oh look, there it opens further. But there we are. It's a very well done engine bay. There's no ignition wires. It's pretty much just a block, but it's still pretty good. Can't really see it because I'm kind of got low light. There, you can see it better from that angle. But it's got a separate hose for the radiator, which is probably the most prominent thing. And it does have the generator or the alternator. So it's got a few details, and there's the steering shaft right there. So it's a very well done engine bay. And like I said, this has got some of the most solid hood hinges I've seen. And you kind of got to push it back to close it. So it's got pretty solid hood hinges. And very nice to see trucks. You know, Motor Max is the only company that really does trucks, and I'm not a big fan of Motor Max, so good to see M2 machines finally deciding to do another tooling. The doors do open, however, they have that usual flaw of being kind of loose, which is another pet peeve of mine, but I can kind of let it slide. If you tape the doors shut, it's not bad. And when they stay open, you know, if you have it on your shelf, it won't be too bad. It's a lot better than having loose hood hinges to me. Still would like them to be tight, but other than that, it's not bad. But the door does open, and there's a nice interior. You can see. I still wish that I think the steering column is still part of the steering wheel. I don't know if it is or not. I think it is, yeah. I wish the steering column still wasn't part of the steering wheel. I don't know if it is or not, but it seems pretty solid. The blinkers don't move with the steering wheel, which is nice to see, because I'm kind of tired of seeing them making that column part of the steering wheel. But I think they put something in there so it doesn't move around as much. They might have made it square, I think. So that's pretty nice that they've done that. And it doesn't move with the blinker arms don't move with the steering wheel, which is nice to see. But very nice. And the seat is a white seat. I don't think it's two-toned, but it's pretty nice. Standard bench seat like most of these older trucks had, you know. They were a little nicer, but they were still kind of utilitarian still. But very well done. Very well done. Definitely replicates that look. And I think there are pedals in here. I'm not sure. But it's even got the floor shifter, which is nice to see. But yeah, I believe there are pedals in here. You can't really see them, but it's even got two-tone door panels and some separate window switches, or the window handles, and the handrest. Pretty nice. This door closes a bit better, I think. And this one just wants to flap open. I don't know if I can tighten these or not. It'd be nice if I could. But very well done. And I love the bed in here. It's a separate wood. It's a stamped sandwich wood. Looks very good here. But yeah, very nicely done. So if the top is really nice, I'm sure you'd assume the undercarriage is nice, and yeah, they've actually gone a pretty fair amount of length to do a nice undercarriage, which I try not to forget to show that when I do one of these reviews. And they've done a lot of work. You know, they've still got some of the die-cast metal chassis, which I'm sure that's very hard to do. All kinds of separate parts. They've even got the drive shaft. They've even got all the suspension linkages. And this probably, in my mind, if you're buying a truck You know, this is definitely one of the releases to get from M2 machines. It looks really good, especially if you get some like mirrors, some like fake chrome mirrors, and you wanted to show off the underside. This is definitely one of those vehicles to do that with. I mean, you know, I've seen a bunch of undercarriages of cars and stuff, and this by far is one of the more detailed undercarriages. I mean, with trucks you're kind of forced to do that because there's a lot of separate components under a truck as opposed to a normal car. So definitely glad to see they didn't try and cheat their way out of anything. They definitely gave this undercarriage a lot of good detail. I mean, you can definitely see all the separate linkages and stuff. It looks awesome. And I don't know if you noticed this, but they even painted the starter motor black. They painted the starter motor black, and they did do the transmission and everything that you would expect to see on one of these trucks, and it looks amazing. All kinds of detail. You even got the separate exhaust still, which that's pretty awesome, and it runs underneath the fender. So this is definitely, in this truck and the other one I'm going to show you, these are definitely the most detailed undercarriages that I've seen on an M2 machine to date. Definitely top-notch work from these guys, and it shows. Amazing work. That's probably one of my favorite parts of this truck. I didn't think it would be, because usually, you know, undercarriages aren't that impressive, but this definitely shows a great deal of work that M2 has gone to do, and they've definitely done a good amount of work on this, so it looks awesome. So there's the this truck. I don't want to spend too long on doing these, but here is the other one. This is the Chevy GMC stepside, and if that truck was any indication that these are awesome, well, this is probably just as good, if not better. So outside here you've got GMC V8. They definitely advertised these trucks were V8s back then. Very cool. Still got the separate mirrors, the radio aerial, pretty awesome. Separate door handles. Again, another wood stamp bed, except for this one does not have a liner in it. It's just a regular, I don't know if that's all metal right there. Now my one problem with this piece is that the tailgate's kind of loose. It doesn't exactly like to stay shut, but it does pretty well. I mean, I wish it stayed shut, but it's alright. It says GMC on the back. This is the days when they used to advertise the truck along the tailgate. They don't really do that anymore, but it's very cool. Forgot to mention there are separate headlights in the back. I mean, not headlights, taillights. There are separate taillights with lenses in the back. Looks awesome. They even have their own chrome buckets that they're in. This truck is from '59, so it's a little different. I think the tooling is pretty much the same, I believe. Yeah, the tooling is pretty much the same for the cab, but the truck is a little different. It's even got the filler neck for the gas tank. Again, in this one, pretty nice. It's even got the separate spare, and I think that's awesome. The spare is even made out of rubber, which is cool. So yeah, very nice details. The front end, it says 150. I guess that was the cubic inches. I'm not sure what 150 meant, but it says GMC in the front. It's even got separate headlights right here. And I think, yeah, it's got separate jeweled marker lights right there. There's one. Can't really tell. I mean, it has a peg in it, but that's the only way you can tell it's lensed. And there's the other one. So pretty nice. It even says GMC in the front. So yeah, very nice piece. Alright, so let's move on to the interior. These doors are a little more solid. I kind of wish they were that solid on the other one. But these doors are definitely more solid. This has a two-tone seat. and it has a steering wheel that works the front wheels as the other one does. They did miss a few gauges. You can tell they didn't put gauges here, which that would have been nice if they had done that. So you can tell that there are some gauges that they didn't put there. I'm sure that was a way to cut some costs, but you know, it's not too bad. You don't notice it with the door shut, but still it would have been nice if they had put the gauges in there. Got a nice two-tone red and white door panel. Very nice. It's got a hand rest right here and the window crank. Everything is well replicated. Still got the wood bed. I don't know if I mentioned that, but very nice piece. Again, here's the other side. And this one was another stick shift model. There's the stick shift right there. You can't really see it, but very well done interior. Very nice. Got the window crank and the door handle. There was no grab handle on this side, and they did that pretty well. Door does close. So again, nice firm opening hood hinges, something I like to see on M2 machines. You kind of got to push back and pull up, and it does open a few inches extra, or I think that's all that one opens. But in here is a pretty nicely done engine. It does have the paint on the they did paint the little filler nubs on the engine itself, and they did get the alternator, the generator in there. A nice fan belt too. They did a good job on that. The steering shaft right there is silver right there. So there's a battery box up there. It's not painted, but it still looks pretty good. At least they put the battery box in. And they even got the filler neck for the radiator painted in silver right here. So all in all, this is a pretty good engine. Definitely one of their better. Certainly not the worst, but definitely one of the better engines I've seen in an M2. So very good looking engine. And like I said, you know, all around this truck looks really good. And it does have the standard steely wheels, because this was pretty much intended to be a work truck. And it's a 4x4 edition, so definitely cool looking. So now that I've shown that, I'm going to show you the underside. And if the underside was nice on the other one, I would say it's not as good or 10 times better, because I'm going to mention that they added one additional thing, and that is they've even done the transfer case underneath here. And that, just to see that they did that, they didn't, you know, leave this out. The front wheel drive and the 4x4, that is pretty amazing, just to see that being done. You know, not a lot of companies would have done that. That's pretty awesome. And you know, they definitely took some pride in doing that. I mean, you can tell that's the front axle right there. And it almost looks like, you know, they intended to kind of make it look like, make the steering as seamless as possible. You know, you can't tell. It almost looks like they've kind of got the drive knuckle in there, you know, but you can't really see it, you know, you don't notice it. But they did a pretty good job of just putting the front drive shaft in there. To know that's there, that's pretty amazing. You know, if this is a 4x4, it's supposed to be four-wheel drive, and to know that they at least, you know, put the drive shaft in the front, that's pretty amazing. But the rest of this truck, you know, they painted the starter black right here. Definitely have all the, they even got the support brace for the engine. There's even the separate drive shaft right there that connects to the transfer case itself, and that's bent. It's bent like it's supposed to be. You know, all these pieces and separate parts they've done underneath here. And you know, they even got the rear, they've got the fake leaf springs up front. You know, just all the suspension linkages. If you're thinking about buying this as opposed to a Motor Max truck, if you're thinking to buy a Motormax truck, you should get this. Spend the like $5 extra it costs to get one of these, because these have got some of the best detail I've seen on a truck that you can buy. At Walmart. If you wanted a truck, if you're a truck enthusiast, if you like die-cast or anything from the 50s, this is definitely something to get. But just amazing. I mean, I could spend hours looking underneath this thing. It looks really good. The chassis are like my favorite part. They've definitely put a good deal of work, into the top side of this and the chassis. So I could go on for hours about these trucks. These are definitely a surefire way to keep me collecting, 124 scale. If M2 keeps doing stuff like this, I will definitely buy more of these. If they do something different, if they, change it up, I will definitely keep buying the M2 124 scale auto trucks. These are definitely just amazing. So, very cool piece. I was ecstatic to find these today. These are very awesome, and I'm lucky to have these because I didn't think I'd ever get them. I thought I was going to have to order them online. So, like I said, so now I'm going to give my ratings. And for these, I'm going to say a 9.5 for both of them. Now, the reason I'm taking away 5 points is, of course, the loose doors. That's my one biggest quip. And maybe the tailgate. Other than that, there is one small fracture in the window in the back, but you really can't tell. So these, out of all the M2 machines I've ever reviewed, these are definitely some of the better trucks that you can buy. These are some of the better 124 scale you can buy. I cannot stress this enough. If you like trucks, if you like 124 scale and you've seen these online and you're thinking about picking them up, you find them, do not hesitate, because these are amazing. These probably will not last long during the holidays, and they released them about 2 months ago, but they just started showing up at Walmart. So just glad to be the first one to review these. These are amazing. So if you're thinking about buying them, like I said, I can't sell it enough, guys. Definitely pick these up. So I don't want to spend too much longer, but if you like die-cast, reviews, it has to be the J-Man63. Make sure you check out my YouTube channel. Stop by, watch my videos, make sure you comment. Have a good one, guys. Goodbye.